Hi everyone, Tim here with TC Home Inspections. I thought I'd have a little fun today and give you a little tour of my backyard and show you what I'm doing when I'm not inspecting homes. It is the middle of March and it's been almost a year since COVID started, so I had a little bit of time on my hands because we weren't that busy during the first few months of COVID, and I worked on a little project in my backyard, and I'm going to share that with you right now, so come along. So this is some red oak that we had cut up in our backyard. And the reason I did it is because this is going to go into the project that I'm going to show you just in a few minutes. But basically, living in northern Michigan, we've had a really bad problem with oak wilt. And you might know this, but oak wilt is a disease. It's a fungus that goes in the ground. It travels from tree to tree through the root zones, and it can actually kill a large tree in this short of 30-day period. It can completely kill a large oak tree. So I got the idea looking at the oak trees that are fallen in our woodlot. We just have 10 acres behind our house. I thought, you know, it's a shame to let those beautiful red oaks just die and just rot into the ground. So I contacted a local sawyer, a person that has a portable bandsaw, and I was wondering after talking to him if these could be restored or they could be cut up rather and used if they were not decayed. And he said actually if they're off the ground, the interior of the log is in great shape, and he was exactly right. So all these were actually red oaks that were diseased on the ground. We cut them up and we made lumber out of them. So I'm going to show you now what I'm going to do with this red oak lumber that we've cut up. So follow me. So here's the big project I've been working on. I'm actually constructing a rustic log cabin behind our home, and I've done all this by myself. No one's helped me, and that's kind of the goal that I have set for myself, to do it all alone. And the main thing to know is these logs are very heavy when they're wet, and I've actually constructed them when they're wet, and it takes a lot of physical force to put them together. So it's quite a task, and I'll just show you a little bit about what I've done so far. So these are actually red pine that I harvested from our own property, and these logs right here, each one of them weighs a couple hundred pounds. They're very heavy, and I stack them. I use a traditional saddle notch to construct the log cabin with. So far it's working really well. And I've just framed the windows and the doors at this point, and you can see that I've actually installed the floor joists just before winter came, and it's now just melted for the first time. And so this cabin is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 windows, and then the front door as well. And I just put 2 by 10 floor joists in there for supports on 16-inch centers. And I'll show you now what I did for the foundation of the log cabin. So you can see, actually, let me go back here. You can see the lumber here that I used. And these are actually black locust. And if you know anything about really resilient, rot-resistant trees, black locust in North America is probably the most rot-resistant tree, and that's why I chose them. I place them deep in the ground on concrete pads, and my research tells me that they're good for about 100 years before they'll decay. I have pretty sandy loam soils here. That's pretty common in northern Michigan, and they should last for at least 100 years if I'm lucky, but that's what's supporting my log cabin. So as it goes up, I will probably have to use some different materials. I don't have a lot of red pine left as I go up. I might have to incorporate a little spruce into the cabin as well. And then my goal is to have the timbers that I cut, the red oak, as support structures up top in the cabin. And then I'll also have metal roofing, and then maybe some additional siding that might be cedar or some kind of rot resistant material right from my wood lot. So everything I put in the cabin is going to be pretty much right here from the wood lot. So that's what I'm working on in the maybe in the evenings or on weekends. Just a little fun for me when I'm not inspecting properties, and I just wanted to share this with you. And as I continue to add more layers to the cabin, I will certainly keep you informed. Again, this is Tim with TC Home Inspections, and I'll see you next video.